So it looks like there might be some truth to the allegations of Diddy and Jay-Z shenanigans, because rapper Lil Kim just came forward to claim that Diddy allegedly pimped her out to Jay-Z while she worked underneath him, and like that's not crazy enough, she also confirmed all those rumors about Jay-Z allegedly grooming Foxy Brown, and she's claiming that Jay-Z also allegedly pimped out Foxy to Diddy. According to Lil Kim, this has been going on since the 90s, and it's the reason why she and Foxy Brown no longer associate themselves with both men. She claims that they both got the Cassie treatment from the men, adding that Jay-Z is way worse than anyone knows, and she has the receipt to back it up. There are also some rumors about Diddy allegedly forcing Biggie Smalls to sigh Kim back in the day, and y'all, this is about to get very messy because Lil Kim is not holding back. The situation surrounding Diddy keeps getting worse, and now we're getting to the point where more individuals within the industry have begun to come forward and share their experiences with him. Needless to say, their accounts do not paint him in a positive light. While it's expected that someone as powerful as Diddy would make enemies over the years, the issue seems to go beyond mere professional rivalry. It appears that several artists have been aware of his questionable behavior, particularly in his treatment of women. Rapper Lil Kim recently had the guts to stand up to Diddy and defend her beliefs. For those of you who are unaware, Kim has long been outspoken about her hatred of Diddy and has a long-standing grudge against him. Although she hasn't disclosed the specifics of their feud for a while, she has made it clear that she has no plans to move past the conflict or ever make amends with him. A few years ago, new information surfaced when Kim said in a voice recording that was posted online that Diddy was unfaithful and self-centered, and that he frequently mistreated others who were beneath him while getting away with it thanks to his wealth and connections.
Now, at the end of the day, like, Puffy is Puffy. He will, I mean, you know, it's all about what he can do, what he can give people. Puffy it's all about himself a lot of times, because he never really did nothing.
Given what we now know about Diddy and his current legal issues, it appears that Lil Kim may have been hinting at some of the shady practices that have led to his current predicament with the federal government. However, even prior to the disclosures, Lil Kim had attempted to expose some dubious behavior involving Diddy and alluded to his alleged mistreatment of women, claiming that she had to intervene on several occasions to assist women escape his control. According to Kim, this eventually led to Diddy blackballing her. Well, Kim has allegedly also said that Diddy had a tendency to pursue female dancers, and when they said no, he doesn't listen and just does what he wants to do to them anyway. This might seem surprising to some people who think that Diddy can buy people off with his millions, but many women in the industry have heard the rumors about him and want nothing to do with them, knowing full well the kind of trouble that comes with it. Well, Lil Kim shared an example of one of the women. She defended a dancer who was just trying to earn her way and build a name for herself in the industry. Well, Diddy had taken an interest in her and made advances, but she turned him down as she wasn't interested. However, instead of accepting the rejection and taking his L gracefully, Diddy allegedly began harassing her, even threatening to harm her if she didn't comply with his demands. The situation escalating during a concert where Diddy was scheduled to perform. He allegedly cornered the dancer backstage, parading her and threatening to blacklist her from the industry unless she gave in to him. Fortunately, Lil Kim was also backstage at the time. She intervened, confronting Diddy and threatening to expose his behavior if he didn't back off and leave the woman alone. Recognizing that Lil Kim wasn't one to be messed with, Diddy eventually retreated. This wasn't the only story involving Diddy's disturbing behavior. Though radio personality when Miss Jones rejected Diddy's advances, she also claimed that he threatened to put her in a trunk. According to Miss Jones, Diddy grew more dangerous until Lil Kim intervened once more and told him to stop bothering Miss Jones.
It's something that is built in somebody.
And Diddy, I don't want you blowing up my house or my car or anything like
Good
that.
night!
I want you to know, because I don't. He already threatened to put me in the trunk of a car. And Lil Kim said, leave Jonesy alone. Jonesy don't hurt nobody. Stop, yep. You said me.
Given what we now know about Diddy and his current legal issues, it appears that Lil Kim may have been hinting at some of the shady practices that have led to his current predicament with the federal government. However, even prior to the disclosures, Lil Kim had attempted to expose some dubious behavior involving Diddy and alluded to his alleged mistreatment of women, claiming that she had to intervene on several occasions to assist women escape his control. According to Kim, this eventually led to Diddy blackballing her. Well, Kim has allegedly also said that Diddy had a tendency to pursue female dancers, and when they said no, he doesn't listen and just does what he wants to do to them anyway. This might seem surprising to some people who think that Diddy can buy people off with his millions, but many women in the industry have heard the rumors about him and want nothing to do with them, knowing full well the kind of trouble that comes with it. Well, Lil Kim shared an example of one of the women. She defended a dancer who was just trying to earn her way and build a name for herself in the industry. Well, Diddy had taken an interest in her and made advances, but she turned him down as she wasn't interested. However, instead of accepting the rejection and taking his L gracefully, Diddy allegedly began harassing her, even threatening to harm her if she didn't comply with his demands. The situation escalating during a concert where Diddy was scheduled to perform. He allegedly cornered the dancer backstage, parading her and threatening to blacklist her from the industry unless she gave in to him. Fortunately, Lil Kim was also backstage at the time. She intervened, confronting Diddy and threatening to expose his behavior if he didn't back off and leave the woman alone. Recognizing that Lil Kim wasn't one to be messed with, Diddy eventually retreated. This wasn't the only story involving Diddy's disturbing behavior. Though radio personality when Miss Jones rejected Diddy's advances, she also claimed that he threatened to put her in a trunk. According to Miss Jones, Diddy grew more dangerous until Lil Kim intervened once more and told him to stop bothering Miss Jones.
Jerkins, he was working on Michael Jackson's album, and he was like, yo, I was playing Queen Bitch for Michael Jackson. And he was like, man, I love how she raps behind the beat and it's so sexy. I was like, he said that? What? He was like, yeah. So I'm telling you that to say, we're trying to get you on the album. Stop. I was like, what? My leg is still trying to recover because I fell out the seat. Oh my God. Yeah.
Tiny, in an unsurprising turn of events, Kim claimed that she had already begun recording her verse for an album when her manager secretly ruined the deal behind her back. It's shocking that Diddy, who was in a position of trust as her manager, allegedly destroyed his own artist career out of jealousy and spite. But it's easy to understand why Kim would have harbored such a strong grudge against Diddy's actions, because they weren't just unprofessional, they were vindictive. He was acting as a hater, and that betrayal surely had a lasting effect on Kim.
Puffy was my manager at the time. Okay. And when we brought it to Puffy, Puffy was like, Puffy can be a little bit controlling, because I was like his little sister. So I don't know. I don't know if him and Rodney were going through something at the time, but it just never happened because I was a kid, so I wasn't handling my business. But I remember seeing Rodney and he's going, yo, what's up? I've been calling and you don't want to be on Michael Jackson's album? I was like, what? Are you crazy? Of course I do. But I didn't know what was going on behind the scenes. So that was a missed opportunity, not due to anything I did, but like, it just, it was out of my control. And I really just wanted.
If all of this is accurate, then Kim's ire is justified because Diddy was acting inappropriately. However, that wasn't the only time he allegedly betrayed her. After she was imprisoned, he switched allegiance and began working with her rival, manager Nicki. Kim and Diddy already had a full-fledged feud, and everyone knew that they didn't get along, so Diddy simply betrayed her, which was, to put it mildly, extremely nasty.
Lil Kim, man. I love Lil Kim, and I'm sorry that she's mad. I never would have thought about, me working with another artist that she would, take it, the wrong way. But if she's taking it the wrong way, it ain't meant like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that, Nicki's never did anything to her. Nicki never pay her homage. She ain't trying to swagger jack or say nothing negative about her. And I just think that, Kim, needs to just understand that Nicki as a whole, just has always been respectful of her, and Nicki's not trying to be her. So we riding with Nicki, and we still riding with Kim. You know what I'm saying? We love and respect the days that and history that we've had with Lil Kim. And it ain't no beef, but Kim is gonna be an MC. And MCs, when they coming back out, a lot of times they like to talk crazy and do what they do. But you know, at the end of the day, everybody respects, everybody respects Lil Kim for being the queen.
However, it gets worse since Diddy blamed Kim for dubbing her a drama queen when he was questioned about the matter in an interview. He also claimed that Nicki had done nothing wrong and that Kim had issues with Nicki for some reason, and I ain't going to make no apologies for working with Nicki Minaj, you know what I'm saying, especially somebody that's Kim's the OG, and it seemed when you was coming at Nicki, you was, just being bitter. And you seem like the old you remember play club. Let me tell you why you're wrong, and let me tell you why you did wrong, because it's deeper than that. So yeah, Lil Kim has more than enough reason to hate on Diddy. Still, it didn't stop there, because according to her fresh allegations, he allegedly forced Biggie Smalls to mistreat her just because he got a rise out of it and enjoyed watching her suffer. For those of you who don't know, Biggie had an affair with Lil Kim while he was married to Faith Evans. He was fully aware of his situation but kept quiet, even though Faith was also signed to Bad Boy Records at the time. But honestly, the whole situation was a mess, with everyone in the circle seemingly entangled in some sort of drama. What made things even worse was how poorly Biggie treated Lil Kim during their relationship. At one point, Lil Kim became pregnant with Biggie's child, but she made the difficult decision to end the pregnancy because she knew she couldn't bring a baby into such chaotic situations. In a recent interview, she explained why she made the decision. I was well aware of the type of relationship Biggie and I have, and I knew that if things weren't already crazy, having a child was impossible. Biggie was already cheating on Faith Evans and Lil Kim with other women. Lil Kim was extremely jealous and didn't take it lightly. She even tried confronting Biggie's other flings, which only escalated the situation. Her jealousy led to intense conflicts, and sadly, Biggie became physically violent towards her. When things got out of hand, Biggie's road manager even confirmed that Biggie had a history of laying hands on Kim. There was one particular incident where Kim became furious after Biggie invited some of his other side pieces to the studio. The situation spurred into a full-blown fight, with Kim lashing out at other women. Biggie was not having this, and according to a manager, when Big came, it got even worse. He was choking Kim in the studio elevator. That was the first time I literally saw them fighting. Dak was in the elevator with them trying to break it up. I used to tell her, come on, you have to let this go. Sometimes a man can give your self-esteem. And when he got mad with her, he would do that. Eventually, Faith Evans found out about the affair, and she was furious because she couldn't believe that Biggie and Lil Kim would betray her like that. Y'all want to know what's truly wild? Is that Kim found out years later that Diddy was the one behind Biggie's mistreatment. She claimed that Diddy would allegedly egg Biggie on encouraging to put hands on Kim and treat her badly, especially when other people were there. If you're wondering why he would do this, it's because he allegedly propositioned Kim, but she turned him down. Now, he wasn't trying to wife her or make her his main thing or anything like that. Instead, he wanted her to allegedly become his freak-off girl, to do all sorts of weird stuff together, if you catch him rip. And when she turned him down, he botched her deal with Michael Jackson and got Biggie to turn violent towards her. And y'all want to know the wild part? The reason Diddy wanted her so badly was that he allegedly wanted to pass her out to his bestie Jay-Z, who was also using rapper Foxy Brown at the time. Now, for those of you who don't know, Foxy and Lil Kim had a very toxic relationship at the same time because they were beefing back then. Foxy ended up with Jay-Z and Lil Kim ended up a Diddy. According to Lil Kim, both men thought it would be funny to pass both women back and forth, especially because they hated each other. And get this, Foxy is also backing up Kim's claims, and like that's not messy enough, it's being reported that she has agreed to testify for the feds against Diddy when they bring him up on charges for Tupac's death. Foxy Brown is one of the few people who knows the real Jay-Z and has been seeing firsthand just how ruthless he can be. For a long time, she played the loyal ally, keeping her mouth shut about their past, but now it looks like she's ready to spill the tea, and it sounds like she's preparing to sing like a canary. Reports indicate that Foxy is not only planning to reveal what she knows about Tupac's killer, but she's also set to give out a character assessment of Jay-Z, particularly about what allegedly went down between them and how Jay-Z allegedly blacklisted her from the industry once he was done using her. Given their long history, it's pretty wild that Jay-Z would treat Foxy Brown that poorly. They met back when Foxy was just starting out and collaborated on some hit songs. They seemed close, almost like friends, or at least that's how it appeared on the surface. But clearly there was more going on behind the scenes. There were definitely some red flags in Jay-Z and Foxy Brown's relationship from the very beginning, though they might not have been as obvious at the time. In the 90s. Conversations about grooming and predatory behavior weren't as widespread as they are now. When they originally worked together, Jay-Z was in his mid-20s and Foxy was only 14 or 15 years old. Although it's customary for artists of different ages to work together, the songs Jay-Z had Foxy rapping were extremely unsuitable for someone her age. Looking back, it's difficult to deny that Foxy Brown, even though she was a rising star, was exposed to some adult content that no child her age should have been involved with. It turns out that the relationship between Foxy Brown and Jay-Z went beyond their professional relationships, and they became romantically involved. But it wasn't the kind of romance you might imagine. Jay-Z wrote the majority of Foxy's verses back then, and the lyrics were far too mature and inappropriate for a teenager to be performing. If you catch M drift, Jay-Z allegedly just wanted to hit it and quit it. Their relationship was something of an open secret in the industry at the time, with rumors that she had even given Jay-Z her card at a very young age. According to industry sources, Jay-Z then became something of a sugar daddy to her, funding her extravagant shopping spree, which is kind of creepy given that she was only 15 and he was in his mid to late 20s. This situation is unsettling when you consider the age gap and power dynamics at play. But it wasn't all glitz and glamour. In his song, Nas even made reference to the affair, saying, "Foxy got you age because you kept your face in a tush. What do you think you're getting chicks for now because of your appearance?" According to reports, Jay's allegedly got paranoid about the whole affair and accused Foxy of running her mouth, which he denied, but he didn't believe her, and he allegedly got her blackballed because of it. And this is just messy, but there is also the talk about her testifying about what she knows about Tupac's murder and who did it. According to reports, prosecutors are seeking to have Brown as a witness and provide evidence that reputed Southside CP Dwayne Keffy D. Davis was in Las Vegas on September 7, 1996. Something that Davis has denied. The Clark County District Attorney's Office is forming a list of witnesses that can place Davis in Vegas on the night of Pacs, but KD says that there is no proof that he was in Sin City on that fateful night in September. According to reports, Foxy allegedly saw KD in Vegas and even interacted with him before Poe later that night. Interestingly, though, KD snitched on himself in his own book, where he admitted that he was in Vegas on the night of the shooting, and he saw Foxy on that night. In the book titled Compton Street Legend, Keffy said, "As I walked up to the driver's side window, I noticed that the rapper Foxy Brown was in the car with Derek Voss Zip, so he instructed her to step out the car and motioned for me to jump in. Zip had a hidden compartment that he opened up, reached in and pulled out a black 40 Glock out. He turned to me and said, 'It's time to get the money.' He continued. Zip handed me the 17-shot pew-pew, which I promptly put down the back waist of my pants. I hopped out the car, held the door open for Foxy Brown to get back and closed the door, and they pulled off." If you're wondering what on earth Foxy was doing around Diddy's crew that night, well, Lil Kim is claiming that Jay-Z allegedly tried to pimp her out to Diddy that night. According to her, it was something of a game between both men. When she and Foxy refused to play their careers, suffered for it. Well, fans are shocked by these allegations, of course, and they've been commenting, "Well, she went through a lot, and she has a right to be angry. I pray she can get through her ordeal and start talking about it. Opening up takes time. With a she was so young. I'm disgusted that this happened. She was hella lyrically talented. She was so beautiful. And her antics, we all cut up like her. And our teens, yes, we all had the neighborhood D-boys over our age picking us up from high school. She was done dirty by Jay and all those around her, and Jay-Z used his people and hopscotches right over them like nothing ever happened." She has alluded to the fact that she's been hurt for years due to how he did her, but out of loyalty and respect, she never fully exposed everything until now. But do y'all believe Lil Kim's allegations of how Diddy and Jay he tried to pimp her and Foxy Brown to each other? Or do you think that she's trying to pay Piggy back off the trafficking allegations that have been made against Diddy? Let me know what you feel about this. Drop your thoughts in comments below, and then check out this next video. Music.